them in his pocket. He grabbed a whole bunch of them, boom, shoved them in his pocket. And guess what he did after that? Went right to the lake. He went right to the was ready to fish. All he could think about was what he was going to catch that day. He got his bucket ready, and he set it down, and he reached into his pocket. Woo, they were slithering around, and he got it, and he put it on the hook. And when he put it on the hook, something happened. He felt like kind of like a little sting on his hand, on his arm, but he didn't think much about it. So he just hooked the fish, and he threw it out there. And within 30 seconds, guess what he had? Boom, a fish. These worms were awesome. They were a little more squirmy than normal. They were big. He double hooked it, and next thing you know, he's reeling it in. Whoa! He's got himself a good one. He takes it off the hook, slaps it in the bucket, reaches into his pocket, grabs another worm out. He grabs it, shaking around. He's like, man, these things are excited. He double hooks it, and as he does, he kind of feels another sting on his arm. But he doesn't think anything about it because he's so excited about fishing. Woo! Casts out another one. Boom! Hits again. He reels it in, grabs it, throws it in the bucket. He is so excited. He has been out there less than 10 minutes and caught 2 fish. So he reaches in, he's like, these worms are special. They are the best. He grabs another worm, double hooks it, throws it out there. Would you know what happened? He caught another fish. Oh, he reels it in. Within 1 hour, Sammy had caught over 10 fish. And they were in the bucket. And what was happening was, while Sammy was out there, he was kind of skipping around. He had his bib overalls on, and a sheriff came by. Somebody say, whoop, whoop. And the sheriff, he was a fisherman. He liked fishing. And he saw Sammy was having a lot of fun, and he saw his bucket. He's probably trying to check his license. But here's the thing. Saw his bib overalls, and he decided to stop. And he said, Sammy, you catching anything today? And Sammy said, hey, sheriff. He said, I'm catching all sorts of them. And he kind of shocked the sheriff. Not shocked. Shocked, not shot, shocked the sheriff. Because when he lifted, I heard the gasp. When he lifted up his arm was twice as big as it should have been. And it was red. And Sammy hadn't noticed because he was so excited about catching fish. He was so excited about having fun. He was so excited about everything going on. And the sheriff said, Sammy, how are you catching all those fish? He said, Sheriff, he said, it was my lucky day. I went out into the woods and I found some special bait. He said, it's incredible. He said, every time I throw it in, I catch one. And he said, can I see it? And Sammy reached into his pocket and pulled out a bunch of baby rattlesnakes. You see, it wasn't worms that Sammy was fishing with. He had picked up under that rock a bunch of baby rattlesnakes. And this threw the sheriff into a panic. And the sheriff grabbed Sammy up and put him in his car and took off down the road. You see, here's the thing. He got bit a lot. You know, sometimes if you get bit once, it's no big deal. Twice, but Sammy got bit a lot that day. And he was in big trouble with his health. The sheriff had to rush him to the hospital. And it was questionable whether he would make it. Let me tell you this. There's things in this life that look really fun. There's things in this life that look like they're great. Can everybody just look up here real quick? Sin looks that way. Sin looks fun. Has anybody ever just got distracted playing and missed what time they were supposed to come in, or missed their parent hollering at them, or got distracted and forgot to do something because you're just having so much fun? Look, sin can be that way. But doing things like that seem fun can be that way sometimes. And maybe you can take one bite, maybe you can take 2 bites, but when you allow sin in your life, when you allow things in your life that aren't of God, they can be fun. It can be fun sometimes. But you got to be careful. And you got to pay attention. And you got to make sure that your fun isn't outweighing your judgment. Somebody say, sin will kill me. Somebody say, can't fish with a rattlesnake. God said this. He said, I want you to have fun, but I also want you to be watching, right? How many know that sometimes things can hurt you in this world? But here's the thing. You got to be careful to make sure that your life aligns with God. Would everybody stand up for me real quick? Hey, who's excited to go home and have some fun? But the biggest thing in our life is, do you know you can have a lot of fun? How many's having a lot of fun at camp? How many are having so much fun at camp, right? You can have fun without doing bad things. Do you know that? You can have fun without doing wrong things. Do you know that? You can be a Christian and live one of the best life there is, right? God is going to open up doors for you. But here's the thing. You got to be watchful. So everybody say, sin not. Everybody say, sin not. Everybody say, don't fish with rattlesnakes. All right, let's take a break and come back. No fishing with rattlesnakes. All right, let's take a break and come back, and we'll do the winner's circle, all right? You guys got 15 minutes. Take a break. What's your name, bro?